At my promotion party, Dad laughed loud. We're only here because your brother had no plans. You know that gut-wrenching feeling when you finally hit a major life milestone, something you've bled and sweat for, and you just want your family to be proud? What if, instead, they tried to tear you down right there, in front of everyone, actively sabotaging your biggest moment? That's my story. And trust me, it's a wild ride. My name's Luke, I'm 28, and just a few weeks ago, I truly believed I was on top of the world. After 5 years of relentlessly grinding at a job I honestly thought would break me, I finally got the promotion I'd been relentlessly chasing. Senior Project Manager. A corner office. A huge bump in pay. And, for once, actual recognition for the insane hours I'd been pouring into this place. I'm not really a party guy, but this felt different. This felt like a moment that needed celebrating. So, I booked a private room at my favorite restaurant, invited my parents, my younger brother Mark, and a few close friends. In my head, it was going to be this beautiful, warm, slightly emotional night. One of those rare family moments where everyone just gets along, sets aside their usual bickering, and just celebrates together. Man, was I ever wrong. The second they walked in, a cold wave washed over me. My mom was glued to her phone, barely even making eye contact when she hugged me. And my dad? He had that familiar, tight-lipped expression, the one that always meant a cutting remark was just around the corner. Mark, my younger brother, looked like he'd been dragged out of bed, slouching in a hoodie and joggers, clearly annoyed to be there. I tried to shake it off, tried to convince myself it was just a bad start. This was my night, I told myself. Nothing could ruin it. The drinks started flowing, the appetizers came out, and I was actually starting to relax, finally. And then my dad raised his glass. He said, loud enough for the entire table to hear, this casual, almost jokey tone, well, we're only here because Mark didn't have plans tonight. He actually chuckled, like it was the most harmless, hilarious thing he could say. But my stomach plummeted. I forced a laugh, pretending it didn't sting, but I could feel my face burning. And then Mom, with that knowing smirk, added, don't get used to this attention, Luke. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. The table laughed. Even Mark cracked a grin, like this was the funniest joke he'd heard all week. I just sat there, holding my glass, nodding like I was in on the joke. But inside, something irrevocably shifted. It wasn't just a one-off comment, you know? It was years of this. Years of them treating my wins like they were accidents, like I was just lucky. Growing up, every time I brought home good grades, my dad would just shrug, books don't mean much in the real world. When I got my first job, my mom casually said, well, we'll see how long you last. But Mark could do no wrong. He was the golden child, the one they bragged about at every family gathering. I was just, there, the reliable, boring one. The one they called when they needed help moving furniture or someone to dog it. I tried to keep the conversation light for the rest of the dinner, cracking jokes with my friends, asking everyone about their week. But the pattern was undeniable. Every single time someone at the table congratulated me, my parents immediately downplayed it. He's just lucky the old manager quit, my dad said at one point. He probably got promoted because no one else wanted the job, Mark chimed in, and my mom actually Dawn. T missed the end, watch the full story, link is attached below.